Democrat Representative Khanna is going to introduce an amendment in the House in order to force a vote on the release of the Epstein files. Now, that is a good thing. It is a good thing. I'm going to tell you why. But, to think that this is obviously like political grifting on Khanna's part. I don't know if he's ever really talked about the Epstein files, but he sure as hell has never been a front runner or crusader like Dan Bongino or Kash Patel, for example, that we're talking about. These files must get released to the public and there must be accountability and blah, blah, blah. I've never really heard him talk about that, right? He might have talked about it. I don't know. But he wasn't like on the front lines with it at all. And now he is doing something that politicians are very good at. He's picking up an issue that he knows has got a lot of people's feathers ruffled and using it to score political points without actually getting any type of real result. Here's why, right? So, Khanna is a Democrat, right? People are saying, but he's a reasonable one and he's a regular leftist or regular, liberal Democrat. He's like the old school. No. This dude supports the trans shit. He tries to stay away from it. He supports the Democrat insanity. No. He's a Democrat. He's a leftist, like them all. He's not to be trusted. I'm sorry. I don't trust a fucking thing the guy says. But his move here is pretty smart because you know what it's going to do that's going to benefit people like you and me? Because we're not going to get any real accountability on this Jeffrey Epstein shit, and we know that now, we should at least see who's for releasing the files if you theoretically were going to release them, because even if they get a vote to release it, I don't think that they can force, the White House to release it. I don't think that, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not 100% sure. If anybody knows the answer, then please tell me. But I don't think that any type of congressional thing is going to make it so that the Congress can somehow force the DOJ's hand into releasing this stuff. I don't think that's the way it works. It never has before, so that would be weird if it does. So what's it going to do, right? Well, it's going to make a lot of people who's got their feathers ruffled on this issue, right, look to the Democrats and go, hey, look, now they're going to release it. Yeah, they're going to, it kind of seeds this idea out there that maybe if you give the Democrats some power, again, they are going to be the ones that are actually going to release these files. Well, don't fucking count on that, okay? Because obviously these people that are so-called investigating Epstein, or were investigating Epstein, saw something in those files that caused even the most staunch believers and staunch supporters of the idea of accountability for these people that worked with Epstein or were involved with Epstein's sick little sex schemes. Maybe some of those people will look to the Democrats and go, okay, they're going to do it. They're actually going to do it. I don't think so, because even if the Democrats do get power again, they're going to find the same shit. And even if they don't find the same shit, they're going to find less shit than we have now, because, maybe the DOJ from now will destroy the rest of whatever evidence is there that's in their possession, so they never, ever get to have to held to account for this. We don't know, right? We don't know. So what Khanna's doing is political trickery. Nothing that this is going to do is actually going to do anything except for one very important thing. And that's why I hope he gets this amendment through. I don't even think he's going to actually get it through because, even on his side, on the Democrat side, there are probably way too many people that don't fucking want any more of this Jeffrey Epstein shit, right? Really. It's not going to be just Republicans. It's also Democrats, for sure, right? So, how good of a chance does Khanna really have? Probably not much. But if he got the amendment through, you know what that would prove? It would make it that the House had to vote on releasing the files, yes or no. And then you're going to see, right? Who's in favor of letting the public know about this Jeffrey Epstein shit and who isn't in Congress, right? Now, is that 100% proof? No, because knowing that the Congress people aren't stupid. They know that even if they were all to vote for it, right, that still doesn't mean that the DOJ is going to release it, right? Again, I think that that's probably going to be the case. So they can all, with a clean conscience now, vote, sure, I want the Epstein files released. Damn Trump, we want it. We want it. Because they know it's not actually going to fucking happen, so it's easy to vote on. So basically, again, this time not from the Republicans, but once again from the Democrats, it's political smoke and mirrors to make people believe that anybody in power, like Ro Khanna, is somehow interested in getting accountability and clarity and transparency on the Epstein stuff, right? No, it's not happening. No matter how this works, even if Ro Khanna gets his way and the amendment gets put through, then we still can't be sure which Congress members are lying, because they're all going to vote, yeah, we want it released. Yeah, release it, because they know it's not going to be released, right? So it's going to be a skewed vote, but we might get an idea. So that's good. The good thing about the whole shit is it lights another little fire under these Congress people's asses and makes them remember that nobody out here is just going to let this fucking slide, right? At least I fucking hope not, okay? I hope not. I get it. It's going to get out of the news cycle after a while. There's going to be more important things to worry about for a little while. But we can never forget that even the Trump administration, who was voted for in overwhelming numbers partially to get rid of the deep state, is not going to go after the deep state in any meaningful way. Obviously, based on the Epstein thing. Now, that may change over time. We'll see. I'm gonna grade the Trump administration on results only and not talk. Either way, I think that these people should constantly be reminded that they are helping to cover up what really, really looks like a child sex trafficking ring done by Jeffrey Epstein at the behest of some foreign entity. Really, really a lot of evidence, which isn't proof, a lot of evidence is pointing towards that being the case. And if you want people to not believe that, you are going to have to come up with compelling evidence that points in a different direction. You can't just go on TV and say, fucking case closed, I'm Dan Bongino, end of story. That's not going to fucking work, okay? So what Ro Khanna is doing is keeping this thing alive. And I think that's fantastic. So as much as I don't trust Ro Khanna as far as I can throw him, I don't believe he's doing this for any, I'm a good guy and I really want the truth reason. I mean, he might be, I doubt it. He's doing this to score political points and try to pull MAGA away from the Trump administration, maybe get a couple new Democrats on his side. That's not happening either, right? That's delusional. These people are completely insane, and nobody that believes in Donald Trump or believed in him truly from the beginning is going to now turn towards the Democrats because some fucking rogue Democrat is saying, well, let's force a vote to see who thinks what. You know what I mean? That's not really releasing any files or any shit. It's not going to have any outcome. Nothing's going to come of this whole thing, if it even gets through as an amendment, which I highly doubt. I don't know how many people he needs to vote on it in order for it to become an amendment, but I think that there's too many people on his side, as well as ours, that are going to be like, nah, let's just let this die. Pam Bondi and Trump say, it's over. It's over. I'm MAGA. It's done. You know what I mean? I think that's where it's going to go. But it's a good attempt, and we'll see what the response to it is. And that will be telling on its own. So let's keep looking for that. Let's watch Ro Khanna and see if he actually gets this done. That would be kind of funny. It wouldn't be amazing. It wouldn't have any great result. It would be funny, and it will keep the spotlight on this issue, even in Congress and the Senate. And that's what we want. You know what I mean? A couple of Robert Barnes says it well. A couple of other pundits and podcasters and shit say it well. The thing is, just because you support Donald Trump or his administration or anybody in it or all of them in it, doesn't mean you have to shut up and toe the line like fucking cat turd, no matter what they do, right? That's why I'm anti-government as a whole. Basically, I support Trump because if I have to have a ruler, right? If there's no way for me to not have a relationship with the government, which I wish there was, but there just isn't, right? Then I would rather it be Donald Trump that was running me, you know what I'm saying, ruling me, than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or any leftist Democrat or any insane socialist. So in that respect, yeah, Donald Trump is awesome because I have to have a ruler. And then, okay, I'd rather it be Donald Trump than lots of other people, right? But that doesn't mean that we just let the fucking administration go hog wild and do whatever the fuck they want without calling attention to it. So there's a lot of people out there. One of my buddies in Texas, K-Mac, he's one of them, right? He's one of them that says, look, let the fucking Epstein shit go. It's not going anywhere. It's drawing attention to the wrong things. It's, you know, keeping people's eye off the ball, blah, 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 whatever. No, I don't agree. I say we confront them every single fucking time with it. We keep it on the social media. We keep it in the news cycle as much as we can. We continue to talk about it as much as we can. Now, that said, unless there's really some new information that comes out, the conversation about it will die down. Yet, I don't think we can let the Trump administration forget that they did this, right? They swept under the rug an obvious scandal without giving one shred of evidence that what they're saying is true. And that can't be allowed to stand. So, there you go. So, we'll see with Ro Khanna where it goes. I think it's a nice move. If I was Ro Khanna, I would probably do the same, you know, maybe for different reasons. But it'll be good to see what the reaction to it is, if it gets anywhere. And we'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know if I hear any more about it in the near future. So, that was the Insanity Report for Monday, the 14th of July, 2025. Guys, I want to tell you how you can help rescue children from sex traffickers, like Jeffrey Epstein, for example, you know, and the way you can do it directly is to donate to my buddy K-Mag in Texas, who is in direct contact with teams of well put together people that are out there investigating where these children might be held, gathering evidence and intel, then reporting it to the police departments in the area to rescue these kids. Now that costs money, it costs time, it costs resources, they need equipment, and my buddy K-Mag raises money for all that stuff. So if you want to help get kids rescued, then go ahead and visit my buddy K-Mag's Gifts and Go. I will put it in the bottom in the description. And there you can read all about the project and help out where you can. All right, guys, that's it for me for today. On this Monday, we'll see you guys tomorrow. See what next insane shit is going to come up. All right, peace out.